The best intermittent fasting plan for fat loss. Have you ever wondered which intermittent fasting plan is actually best for burning fat? Fasting can be an incredibly effective tool for fat loss. In fact, simply eating less often is one of the easiest ways to naturally reduce calorie intake and encourage your body to burn stored fat. But today, we're not just talking about the benefits of fasting. Instead, I'm going to show you the most effective fasting strategies for transforming your body, reducing body fat, and choosing the approach that fits your lifestyle. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build the right fasting plan for yourself. Let's get started. One of the greatest things about intermittent fasting is its flexibility. There isn't a single, perfect fasting schedule that works for everyone. The best approach depends on your preferences, your appetite, your daily routine, your work schedule, and how comfortable you are going without food. These factors determine which fasting structure is most sustainable for you. The Warrior Diet, 20-4. The Warrior Diet is based on the idea that our hunter-gatherer ancestors often experienced long periods with little or no food available. Whether or not this perfectly reflects human history, the concept is simple. You fast for approximately 20 hours and eat during a 4-hour window. During the fasting period, you consume only non-caloric beverages such as water, black coffee, or unsweetened tea. Then, during the eating window, you focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. Lean proteins, vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, and minimally processed foods become the foundation of your meals. One reason many people enjoy the Warrior Diet is that it allows larger, more satisfying meals, while still naturally controlling calorie intake. Many people also report improved focus and productivity during the fasting hours because they're not constantly thinking about meals or digestion. Why it works. The Warrior Diet works because whole, nutrient-dense foods are naturally filling. Foods rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats help control hunger while providing fewer calories than highly processed foods. When you focus on real food instead of sugary snacks and ultra-processed meals, overeating becomes much more difficult. That's why many people experience significant fat loss without obsessively counting calories. Don't become a slave to the clock. One of the biggest mistakes people make with intermittent fasting is becoming obsessed with exact eating times. The truth is that the specific minute you start or stop fasting isn't nearly as important as your overall calorie intake and food quality. If one day your eating window is slightly longer or shorter, it won't ruin your progress. Fasting should reduce stress, not create more of it. Focus on consistency rather than perfection. Beware of overeating. Let's imagine you're following an OMAD plan, one meal a day. After fasting all day, it's very easy to overeat when your meal finally arrives. That's why food quality matters so much. A large amount of highly processed food can easily contain thousands of calories while still leaving you hungry. On the other hand, a meal built around protein, vegetables, and whole foods is far more satisfying and much harder to overconsume. When you break your fast, prioritize real food. Doing so dramatically reduces the chances of overeating. Common challenges. The Warrior Diet and OMAD aren't ideal for everyone. Some people simply struggle with fasting for 20 or more hours. In the beginning, hunger can feel intense as your body adapts to a new eating pattern. You may also notice temporary drops in energy levels. Fortunately, these effects usually improve as your body becomes accustomed to fasting. Many people eventually report more stable energy throughout the day. The 16-8 method. For most people, the 16-8 method is the easiest and most sustainable approach. You fast for 16 hours and eat during an 8-hour window. Typically, this means skipping breakfast, having your first meal around noon, and eating your final meal in the evening. Compared to longer fasting schedules, the 16-8 method allows more flexibility, while still providing many of the benefits associated with intermittent fasting. Because you're eating within a larger window, it's easier to consume enough nutrients and maintain a healthy relationship with food. For this reason, many beginners find it much easier to stick with long-term, other fasting approaches. There are also less common strategies. One is the 5-2 method, where you eat normally for 5 days each week and significantly reduce calories on 2 non-consecutive days. Another option is alternate day fasting, where normal eating days alternate with fasting or very low-calorie days. While these methods can reduce weekly calorie intake, many people find them more difficult to maintain consistently. What about extended fasting? Extended fasting usually refers to fasting for 24 hours or longer. Some people practice it for 1, 2, or even 3 days. Longer fasts may provide certain health benefits, including cellular cleanup processes often referred to as autophagy. However, extended fasting is generally not the best long-term strategy for sustainable fat loss. Its primary value lies in specific health goals rather than everyday weight management. Which fasting plan is best? If your goal is fat loss, my top recommendations are the 16-8 method, the warrior diet, 20-4, OMAD, for experienced fasters. The best plan is ultimately the one you can follow consistently. A fasting schedule that fits your lifestyle will always outperform an ideal plan that you can't maintain. Focus on eating whole foods. Prioritize protein. Stay consistent. And remember, fasting is simply a tool. The real secret to fat loss is creating a sustainable lifestyle that naturally keeps calorie intake under control. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments, which fasting method would you be most willing to try? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.